Hey yo, today we're going to be reviewing Mr. Morales and the Big Steppers album by Kendrick Lamar. If you don't know, it released like last week, right? In 2022, obviously. So with Kendrick dropping, it's kind of weird considering that he didn't drop in 5 years, and like 2 years ago he had the own term New Thoughts album, promotion, but that never came. Right? He also had the Oklahoma. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. Promotion for an album. He had Nation, which we had thought was gonna drop, but it didn't. Right? So that's some backstory, right? So him dropping felt kind of weird because it had a lot of hype to live up to. It was living up to, people are considering it to live up to the standards of T-Pab and GKMC, which if y'all don't know, is the prima donnas of Kendrick Lamar's discography and practically his two best albums, which are completely interchangeable with each other. The thing with Kendrick Lamar is that he's a lyrical conscious rapper, and when he's getting on a album like this, a lyrical conscious split album, it's not like a normal split where there's a side A, side B, right? Or it's not like Section 80 where he had chapters or quote unquote chapters to mark different sections of the album. So it's kind of weird. This album, it's the way it was laid out, it's more like 2018's Drogas Wave by Lupe Fiasco, which is a really good album, quite underrated. And okay, let's get straight into the real album, right? So before I would like to start, I would want to speak on about its covers and stuff. The cover shows Kendrick Lamar and his family in like a kind of deepish brown room with a whitish ceiling and top, right? It just seems fairly normal as like a family picture, but it's like turned around as an album cover. So it gave this weird vibe. I didn't want to I was listening to album and I just looked into I was looking at it. It was awkward seeing this cover, but there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think it really fit the entire idea of the album, but it kind of did because the album was about Kendrick Lamar's struggles, kind of like in a therapy way, right? Like what happened with Remember My Eyes, Your Future by Denzel Curry earlier this year. Except that actually had a really nice album cover. The album, if I'm not mistaken, has 1 hour, 13 minutes, which makes sense because it's an 18-song album, right? Okay, now to the actual part of the review. Well, it's off. Like the thing is that there's some songs that seem like it can really fit. Some songs sound like it can't fit this album at all and do not project the idea of this, right? And the inclusion of Kodak Black like 3 times in this album really shows them the perspective as well. People on r/ Kendrick Lamar put it, since Kendrick Lamar's talking about his past, and then taking Kodak, who's kind of troubled, kind of goes hand to hand like that. I really don't know what to say about it. The most notable songs on the album were Untitled and Grief, N95, Worldwide Steppers, Father Time, Rich Spirit, We Cried Together, Purple Hearts, Silent Hill, and Auntie Diaries and Mother I Sober. The only two songs I actually liked were Father Time and Mother I Sober, because they matched the style of Kendrick that I was accustomed to. And the album, I rate it lower than Damn, but I'm not going to tell y'all that until now, right? Like a little bit after, right? The thing is that the lyrics are kind of underwell for Kendrick Lamar. Like, I was expecting way better lyrics, right? We got to bring back skits and plays back into albums, because I thought that would fit in, right? And one of the worst songs on here, Purple Hearts, right? It felt so unmatched. It didn't feel correct at all, especially with Summer Walker. Like, no offense to Summer Walker, right? But this song just did not fit. He was smart on what he did with the Savior interlude and Savior, right? I didn't even realize it skipped both, right? They both went at the same beat and they transitioned very well. I thought that was actually really smart. Don't get me wrong, the album was very nice. I was expecting much more of an oldies styled album. The oldies is kind of like a vocal pop-esque type music genre back in the good old days, like 60s, 50s, right? I was expecting more of that type, but no, it's not even that jazzy as well, right? So I was expecting more of like that, like a Robert Glasper type approach, or a Kenny G type approach, where we really couldn't find that much on the album. One song that's been getting a lot of attention is Auntie Diaries, and for good reason. That's because of him saying the F slur, right? But it was all in context. As long as he said in context, it was okay, right? Silent Hill was a song with Kodak, right? Kodak really had something. I think he just went off, right? And I'm not even a Kodak fan, right? And then when it came to Father Time featuring Sampa, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, Sampa, right? That was the best song of the album. The lyrics were on point, beat was on point, the production was on point, right? Yeah, the album in a conceptual way, it has a good idea, but in execution, it was terrible. It's not really the most greatest album you can say, right? But it's his final album with Top Dog Entertainment, also known as TDE. But keep in mind, I am not saying this album is bad. I have to say the bad and the good about this album, right? Mother I Sober was really good, right? It brings a lot of introspective lyrics, right? I was surprised at some of the lyrics there, right? And when it came to the song "We Cry Together," that's something. It's something, you know. You just gotta listen to that. It's I don't know how to explain. It's not a beautiful song. It's something. Worldwide Steppers was also good, right? Well, but in the first half of the album, which is songs 1 to 9, it brought up the attention of Kendrick's problems as an adult man, you know, with like his family and like him as a rapper, the pressure. Most importantly, it talked about his sex addiction that he had, right? The other half talked about him growing up, right? And all the problems he had there, right? And Auntie Diaries really showed this when he was talking about how his aunt is trans, and right, and growing up in a religious family that's kind of weird, right? And Kendrick really just killed the album. It was amazing. I don't think it won top album. In my opinion, God Don't Make Mistakes or Ten Talk 4 would be top. I'm going to check out Aethopies soon. Right? I only listen to one song off it. And Pusha T's album is Almost Dry. Right? I heard both of those are good albums. In the state of Kendrick Lamar, he's having good sales right now. He's doing all great. But the thing is that this album is sort of out of place in line, right? Because the way it went off was that Section 80 kind of brought up Kendrick. GKMC really expressed Kendrick, and T-Pab showed a more worrisome Kendrick, right? And then Damn showed a more mature, like not more mature in the sense that he's no longer worried version of Kendrick Lamar, right? And they all had their own forms. Like Section 80 was like a book. GKMC was like a short film. T-Pab, like I don't know what it really was. It was just something great, right? I would say it's like, you know, kind of like a textbook or something, you know. I really don't know. Damn was like a magazine. This does not fit that format, right? Because you got T-Pab and GKMC going into that near like movie-ish-esque line, right? So what do I rate this album with all the good and the bad of the album? I give it a 7.5. Not even 7.5, just a 7, right? And in my album rankings of Kendrick's music, it's that GKMC and T-Pab were both 10s, right? And then Damn was a 7.5. Like, Damn was a good album, but like, it's his best. Section 80, that was amazing. I liked it, but it was like a 6. Yeah, 6.5. Right. And to me, here's how it goes. Anything 5 and below is bad. 6 to 7 is good. Like 7.5 to 8, you're getting there. 8 to 10, that's like amazing. But 8 is the transitional stage, right? Right, it's like the huge leap. Right, that's how I go for albums. So that's how I honestly feel about this album. Production was actually fairly good. Seemed a little inconsistent though. Right. What else? People always been saying this album was trash. I personally don't think it was trash. Y'all go accustomed to y'all's own opinions. Don't think about what anyone else says about the album, because like off the bat, a couple of friends of mine told me it was like a 4. Right, but when I listened to it, it's different. It was different. Will I think that it will go on? No, no. I don't think it'll have like the same replayability, or wouldn't be as memorable as Kendrick's last albums were. Right. Do I think it's a notable album? Yes, it's a turning point in his discography, as it's his last album with TDE, as he's switching to his PG Lang record label, which he's been doing great with the likes of Tana Leone and Baby Keem. I know there's tons of more others in PG Lang. Like, they all are killing it, right? And I like how Kendrick's taking an approach to this. And that's my thoughts about this. It's a solid record. It's a solid record. Nothing really bad. Nothing really too good. That's how it is. It's the turning point in his discography. What I felt like Kendrick was going for a very replayable album in Section 80. He was going for a top tier album in GKMC. He was trying to one up it, but eventually just equaled it out with T-Pab, right? To Pimp a Butterfly. But when it came to Damn, I think he kind of realized that he don't need to make as great of an album, right? So that's how Damn came into me. And then there was also this album, which I think took the same approach. Right, I think they should have added the Heart Part 5 and took out, they should have took out Purple Hearts and replaced it with the Heart Part 5. The Heart Part 5 was way better than Purple Hearts. I'm sorry, Purple Hearts was terrible. I know they had an amazing Ghostface Killah verse, but I gotta say, it was a terrible song, right? There's nothing else to it. I personally love this album. Yeah, that's my honest review. Bye.